Is there a logical explanation or reason as to why those two men would sacrifice their lives like that? It is unbelievable what I am hearing and what I am seeing on the news. Two bodies were found in the landing gear, a part that is connected to the wheels of the plane. They were discovered after the plane landed, and it's all over the news. All sorts of speculations, people talking all sorts of things. But I am here scouting through the news, the different media streams here on the internet, and basically all of the stories are the same. You know, it is unbelievable because for me, that is like a sacrifice. Didn't they do any research before they did that to themselves? Will anybody be held accountable for this? Were those two men responsible for what happened to them? Or were they influenced by someone? And it has to be someone that works out there with the planes. I'm not going to say necessarily the airline, which is JetBlue, but somebody that works with the planes, you know? I see different type of news. I don't know which one to read. But what I'm looking at right now is one from CNN, where they say that the bodies were discovered Monday night during a post-flight maintenance or inspection, you know? After the plane lands at every airport or each airport, they're supposed to do maintenance before the plane takes off with another flight. And their identities are unknown. If their identities are unknown, how do they know that those guys are Jamaican? The airline said, and the circumstances surrounding now, they are assessed. The aircraft remains under inspection. But the aircraft has to be under inspection. JetBlue said the plane had most recently operated, as Flight 1801 from John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York. The flight landed in Fort Lauderdale at 11:10 p.m. according to the flight tracking website, Flight Awards. A gate technician in the landing gear area noticed two males who appeared to be Signal 7 advised they are not moving in the landing gear area. An identified person said on Broward County Sheriff's Office radio at 11:26 as recorded on the website Broadcasting Signal. This is really sad. And if those guys are Jamaicans, why are they so desperate? That was past a desperate move. No matter how many times you would go to the U.S. Embassy and apply for a visa if they don't give it to you, why are you so desperate to go to America? I hear a lot of Jamaicans, a lot of people in the United States saying that they would want to pack up and leave America and come and live in Jamaica. Yes, because living in America, it's very, very hard, you know? They have to work extremely hard. Some people that lives in the areas that they get the snow, the bad winter, right now, they would give up anything to be in Jamaica, in our beautiful, warm weather. It is really, really heartbreaking, to see these type of news. And I feel heartbroken because I know the family of those people, if they're really Jamaicans or no matter which nationality, will be in mourning. How the hell were they convinced? When I look at photos, when they show of how the bodies the position that those persons had to be in. How could you take on let's say, a 2-hour flight in that position? Let's say they thought that the plane was just gonna leave from one airport to another airport. But unfortunately, the plane, I think they did several flights before they did the maintenance work and founded them there. Oh boy. I understand that when the plane gets to certain altitude or certain height in the sky, that they cruise, it's around between 38,000 to 40,000 feet. And it can get very, very cold up there. And it's hard to breathe. You have to have a proper plan. You have to have oxygen up there. And I don't think that they thought about all those things. They were just so desperate. Not just one person, but two people. I'm watching from my tablet right now, and I'm gonna be listening to a little news clip, and this is from CNN.
The medical examiner has taken the bodies, and that the Broward Sheriff's Office here in Fort Lauderdale are the ones that are handling this investigation. As you noted, that JetBlue flight landed here at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport from New York City a little after 11 o'clock last night. Now, according to the airline, sometime after that, during a post-flight inspection of that aircraft, the two bodies were found in the wheel well of this aircraft. Now, the details surrounding just how the victims were able to access the aircraft out of New York City is still unclear at this hour. We're told that no one that was on this flight apparently knew what happened. The identities of these two victims have not been released. And this discovery comes just 2 weeks after a body was found on a United Airlines flight from Chicago to Maui. Now, the details surrounding that incident is still being investigated. Again, John, this morning, the Broward Medical Examiner has taken these two bodies. They are in the process of trying to identify them. The FAA is also investigating the incident. And of course, JetBlue is still trying to sort out the details
exactly
just
how
how
they
these
died.
two victims were able to access the wheel well of this aircraft.
Yeah, how were they able to access, How were they able to? Somebody had to help them.
Aaron,
Somebody had to help them that works with the plane. And I think that somebody, after all the investigations, I think that somebody should be held accountable. Two people's life is not just supposed to go down the drain like that. They had to be influenced, Sometimes people really do not think. They just act out of desperation. Even if you cannot get the chance to go to America, there are so many other countries that you can travel to, You can go as a tourist, and there are other ways. If you want to live in those countries, there are ways of, going about that. Certain countries like Canada now is taking people to work. And after a couple of years or so, you have the opportunity to reside and even take your family. So America is not the only place where there is opportunity. Oh boy. It's not like you were getting the opportunity to sit inside the plane like everyone else to say that, okay, you just wanted to know what a plane ride felt like. No, you're gonna be in a very uncomfortable situation, crunched up in a little area where you can't even stretch your hand or your feet. Didn't you really think of that? And if you didn't think about it before, while you were putting yourselves in that area, your mind you never thought about changing your mind? You didn't think about changing your mind? This is past ridiculous. Really, really ridiculous, Too many things to read. Oh my God. The circumstances surrounding how they access the aircraft remain under investigation, JetBlue said. This is a heartbreaking situation, and we are committed to working closely with authorities to support their efforts to understand how this occurred. My God. So the plane began a day in Kingston, Jamaica, according to the Transportation Security Administration. It then flew to JFK in New York, then to Salt Lake City in Utah, then back to JFK before end up in Fort Lauderdale. According to Van Cleve, who said the plane overnighted in Kingston after arriving from JFK on January 5th. It is protocol for pilots to do a walk around the plane before each flight. Part of the inspection is to check the wheel wells. It's possible that the people weren't immediately visible in this case. I don't think they were visible, even if the pilot walked around the plane. I don't think they were visible. If they were visible, that wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened if the pilot saw them. So, I don't think the pilot had anything to do with it, you know. I don't think the pilot acted out of carelessness or anything. Just my opinion, you know. Somebody else had to be responsible. The tourists are believed to be Jamaican nationals. Oh dear. Well, as soon as they find out who those people are, if they're really Jamaicans, you know, all I can say is condolences to the family, the Jamaican families. I am also Jamaican and I live in Jamaica, and it's a really sad situation. Those two men just sacrificed their lives, I guess, for the American dream. I don't know.